Ethan Brown. Sophomore, Austin Wormel. Senior, Brennan Whalen. Sophomore, Jack Sewell. Freshman, Joe Edmonds. Senior, Chris Ritchie. Junior, Jason Webb. Senior, Gavin Walker. Senior, Adam Habib. Senior, Sebastian Estrada. Sophomore, Parker Harrigill. Sophomore, Ben Barkley. Senior captain, Ethan Udrisky. Sophomore, Gavin Trisanella. Senior, Jack Barkley. Sophomore, Gabriel Kano. Senior, Brooks Bernelli. Freshman, Drew Minden. Sophomore, Braden Hudgins. Sophomore, Thomas Cunningham. Junior, Ethan Hodgins. Junior, Austin Rogers. Sophomore, Andreas Gonzalez. Senior, Luke Balazentes. Freshman, Matt Smith. Senior, Conor Montross. Sophomore, Oscar Sanchez. Sophomore, Nick Barone. Junior, Vinny Frasillo. Junior, Graham Chappell. Sophomore, Adam Gwynn. Freshman, Jared Grief. Junior, Tyler Rupke. Junior, Carson King. Freshman, Zach Butler. Junior, Cole Leonard. Sophomore, Cooper Kenny. Senior, Brian Becerra. Freshman, Brooks Benson. Freshman, Cade Livesey. Sophomore,
well, welcome in here to Angela Prasser Field here at Bishop Kelly. We have just seen a very good game between Bishop Kelly Lady Comets and the Cashel Hall Commandos. The Comets winning by 3-1. They go on to the semi-final, which we understand will be here next Tuesday. Now it's the turn of the boys. Remember, the boys have gone 7-0 in districts, and then they put to bed Pryor the other night by 3-0. Tonight, it is then the boys versus our team here from Claremore. You can see them warming up below me. Coach Barkley and his men getting ready for this one, the quarterfinal. Join us after the break when we'll be introducing the teams, and we will be getting set for this game between the boys, the Bishop Kelly Comets, and the Claremore Zebras.
Hi, I'm Mary Chris Revard from the class of 2014, and I am excited to introduce the BK family to Gateway Mortgage Group. Gateway Mortgage is Oklahoma's largest independent mortgage company and employs over 1,000 people across the country. Everything Gateway does revolves around their core value of being passionate about strengthening families. When you need a mortgage company for the next place you will call home, consider Gateway Mortgage Group, where we close loans on time, every time.
Well, good evening and welcome here to Bishop Kelly. This is my name is Dave Saunders. Alongside me in the very fetching red shirt, Colin Manning. Colin, good evening to you, sir.
Good evening.
We've had a really good girls' game. I know you caught most of that. We're looking forward to this boys' game now. And, you know, we're getting to what we call the business end, aren't we? Because a winner tonight and you're in the last four.
Yeah, this is. I mean, there's no way to say it, but it's obviously a must-win. But this is a key game to get us back into that four and try to get us back into that state championship game. A win tonight would be just a great success and a great moving point for these boys, as it has been for the girls to make it through to the semis.
I have to go off now and do my duties to announce the two teams, and I'm going to leave that to you after we come out of this break, Colin, to give us the lineup tonight. But don't go away. We're really set fair for this one between the Bishop Kelly Comets and the Claremore Zebras. Back after this short break. Gentlemen, welcome to Bishop Kelly for this match-up tonight between the Bishop Kelly Comets and the Claremore Zebras. We'd like to welcome everybody who's made the trip down from Claremore. And we'd like to introduce to you now the starting 11 for the Claremore Zebras. Wearing number 1, Darius Silversmith. Number 2, Gabe Garwick. Number 3, Ben Rufly. Number 5, Keveth Caceres. Number 7, Grant Hoover. Number 9, Jose Mota. Number 12, Dalton Ward. Number 13, Noe Diaz. Number 17, Sterling Henson. Number 19, Luke McHugh. And number 22, Carol Valdivia. Ladies and gentlemen, your Claremore Zebra starting 11. And now, your Bishop Kelly Comets starting 11. Wearing number 1, the highlighter, Austin Wormel. Number 3, Joe Edmonds. Number 7, Adam Habib. Number 8, Sebastian Estrada. Number 10, Ben Buckley. Number 13, Jack Buckley. Number 15, Brooks Panelli. Number 18, Braden Hudgins. Number 19, Thomas Cunningham. Number 23, Andreas Gonzalez. And number 30, Graham Chappell. Ladies and gentlemen, your Bishop Kelly Comets starting 11. And as the teams shake hands, we remind you that the place in the semi-final awaits. The game is of 2 equal halves of 40 minutes. May the best team win. Let battle commence. Ladies and gentlemen, the Comets versus the Zebras.
Well, that was your Bishop Kelly Comet lineup here at Prossa Field. And that's the beginning of our Comet lineup. I'm going to give you the lineup once more for the Comets from back to front. So we've got Austin Wormel in goal, and then starting on the left is Graham Chappell, then Thomas Cunningham and Brooks Benelli and Joe Edmonds on the right. Andres Gonzalez and Braden Hudgins in the deep-lying midfield roles. Adam Habib, Ben Barkley, and Sebastian Estrada across on midfield. And then Jack Barkley up top. So it's a strong side tonight, Coach, and I think that it's going to be it's our typical starting 11, but I think it's going to be a good, strong side, and we've got a beautiful night, and I'm hoping that we can – I haven't seen the Zebras play, but I think we can get a good chance to put a good run in here and a good match.
Yeah, thank you, Colin, for that. Bishop Kelly then versus Claremore. Claremore did overcome Memorial by 3-2 in the last round. There is the starting 11. There's Austin Wormel in the sky blue kit. And if you bear in mind that the Comets beat Memorial 3-1 in probably the hardest game for the Comets, it's no mean feat that Claremore did beat Memorial, and we're expecting opposition here from Claremore.
At this point, all the opposition just keeps getting tougher and tougher and tougher, and the Zebras are always been a good rival for the Comets throughout our history. We've been able to battle each other in all sports, and soccer is no different.
What we can tell you is that the Comets will line up in a 4-4-2 as we kick off here, but the Zebras, they have a 3 at the back and they go 3-5-2, and they're going to be right in the faces of the Comets early on. That's what we're expecting from the Zebras. So here's Jack Barkley. And that is an early foul from Barkley, who needs to, he's an aggressive player. He needs to be aggressive. And, he's... as our first plane flies in. Look at
there
that.
There it is. Right on cue.
As if to say, come on, we're barely a minute in. That's a flick on there. Well,
one thing about Jack Barkley is that he's got to keep that temper in check. Every now and then he'll let it get a little run on him. And so hopefully maybe he got a little of that out right at the start there. Kind of burst that bubble right from the beginning. That's a little southwest coming in.
A little southwest there to start us off on proceedings.
From the south.
Those of you that have heard me commentate from this privileged position will know that I do like my planes coming in from the south. And talking of south, that's where the Comets are defending the goal away to your right on your screen. That's a good turn, and then Barkley wins it here to Estrada. Estrada now trying to feed Barkley down the right-hand side, but that's a little bit too much there.
But nice pressure there by Jack Barkley to force the Zebras to put it out instead of letting them have really any time on the ball, and lets us get a chance to set up down here. This is where we wish we had Chris Ritchie in a little bit just for that long throw that he can do. But great hold-up play there by the Comets.
Yeah, and that is away on the far side. So
and if the Comets win tonight, right, we play either Heritage Hall or... Which is the other one? Heritage Hall or Woodward, right?
And we do understand
way out west.
Way out, yes. And that would be an away game. We do understand that the girls will be home next Tuesday, but the boys, if they were to be successful tonight, and that's a big if, a long way to go, long night ahead of us, they would be playing at Heritage Hall or Woodward.
Interesting for the girls to have to play crosstown Catholic school rivals and then cross-state Catholic school rivals in back-to-back weeks. That's going to be a lot of pressure on them.
That was a ball towards the...
played Cassia tonight and McGinnis next week. That's some back-to-back high-intensity games. Ball goes out, it looks like, to the Comets. Graham Chappell's over there with a throw-in. Put out by the Zebras.
Yeah, put out by the Zebras, and we can see they are settling down with their 3-5-2. It quickly becomes a back 5, and you can see there, look, they're man-marking Ben Barkley. That's a responsibility there of the number 18. They've clearly done their homework. I mean, there's enough film around on the Comets, isn't there, with a wonderful BKTV, but Ben Barkley is a man that's going to be closely shackled tonight, although he does find space in pockets all over the field. Here he is, look, picking it up deep. Habib on his first run. There he is. That's a great ball for Habib. Now, is there a chance on goal early? That's a good ball through to Jack Barkley. Jack Barkley to open the scoring. Good save from the keeper. Where's it going to fall? It's going to be headed away, and that was a great move, and Jack Barkley doing everything right there, Colin Manning. We'll get a replay on that one, and you can take us through that.
Yeah, Jack Barkley did absolutely everything right, and the keeper just was able to stop the ball and get in the way. A great play. Here comes a great ball by Ben Barkley. Perfect ball. Barkley goes inside for the pass to Habib. Habib cuts it inside. And probably the only thing that Barkley maybe could have done is just pulled the trigger just a step earlier, but he had to get the ball in on his feet and just wasn't able to put it through. But that's a good sign for the Comets that they were able to cut open that back 3 with just a nice quick series of 3 passes by the Comets, and the Zebras were cut open completely.
There's a ball into the box. It's going to fall here to Habib. Habib battling away in the D, but away they come with the number 17, Henson. That's a ball up, looking for the number 7, Grant Hoover is up there. But nothing doing there for the Zebras.
Speaking of Hoovers, Wormel, right? Isn't that what you call vacuums over there, Hoovers?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, here's Tom Cunningham feeding in the senior, Joe Edmonds. Edmonds was under a little bit of pressure from Diaz, but he comes out with the ball. Now we've got an interesting one here. We do our best to give you the away team, but there is a number 18 on the field, and we do not have an 18 on our roster, so apologies to that young man. And we welcome anybody in from Claremore here to bktv.live, and we'd love you to get in contact. Colin will, I'm sure, give you the tweet address whenever there's a little break in play, because here's Hudgens, who was my man of the match in the last game against Pryor. Colin, that tweet address again?
Yeah, if you want to tweet us, it's at BKTV Live, or if you're following us on Twitter and you want to watch us, it's we are on. Just go to YouTube and put in bktv.live, and that's us.
Here's Joe Edmonds. Little ball in from Estrada, just eludes Hudgens. Here's the number 17, Henson. Falls to Gawick.
Comets have been winning a lot of the midfield battles here early on, but they got to keep winning those one-on-ones to get the ball further up the field.
Jose Mota is over there, I think, going to be taking. There's an early change here. The number 22's come off. That's Valdivia.
15 comes on.
And I think that's probably a defensive move. It's Josh Outlaw that's come on. And I think that's probably to look after Habib. To me, that's a tactical move early on from the coach.
Well, I wish him all the luck in the world, because that's a tough challenge.
Indeed. Nobody would want that job, would they? But he's certainly sticking well, he's just retreating a little bit there, but he wasn't far away from Adam Habib. He'll let him come towards him.
Looking for the overlap of Joe Edmonds there.
Yeah, that's a good run from Joe. We were talking about that in training this week, about Edmonds getting forward a little bit more from right back, because he can certainly do that.
Should be a corner. Oh, call it goal kick.
He's fit enough. He's a basketball player. He's a cross-country runner. And we were saying, you go on the overlap round Sebastian Estrada. That's a nice kit from the keeper, isn't it?
That is nice.
That's a very nice kit.
Sort of reminding me of the national team kits. Those are nice. The classic kits here, you got the white over whites for the Comets and the black over blacks for the Zebras. So that's makes it easy to see who everybody is tonight.
Here's Estrada now going round Diaz. Diaz gets back at him though. Silversmith is the goalkeeper, the number 1. Good battle between Diaz and Estrada there, and it comes off the back of Ben Barkley.
Claremore throwing.
So Comets playing well, getting it down that they're kind of getting warm work down that right-hand wing over there. And I don't know if that's something that you guys saw in training this week, that maybe that's a place where we could get some extra space, but it also might be just setting up a nice move down the left with Adam Habib later on.
Yeah, I think the wings will be a feature tonight.
Well, especially with that 3 at the back that the Zebras are playing.
Zebras, a good ball through there. Cunningham gets a foot in now. Wormel comes out, and Wormel does extremely well to dive on the ball. It's almost like the number 17, Henson, gave up because he knows how good Wormel is. But
yeah, he could have had a go in there and just didn't want to risk it. But with the 3 at the back, the center's going to get harder and harder to get through. So we got to have really good wing play today.
You're absolutely right, and it forces the wing backs back there, the likes of the number 2 Garwick. There he is, pressing the ball high. His Hudgens to Cunningham. Cunningham now to Barkley, who's in that pocket of space, trying to get things moving to Habib. Habib, the TU commit. Lovely ball to Gonzalez. Jack Barkley through here. Oh, and he's just taken a bad touch there, Jack. That was a good run from him down that left-hand side.
So now I don't know. In the state tournament, do the cards carry over, the penalty cards? So I know Thomas Cunningham got a yellow card. Does that carry over to tonight as our build-up from game to game?
Yes. But at least, after, there's basically 3 games to go, so you'd be very unlucky to be shown 3 yellows in a row, wouldn't you, and miss the final. So
okay.
There's the good shot of the number 5, Caceres. Straight onto the head of Chappell. Here's Jack Barkley. Caceres getting a tackle in. Here's Ben Barkley now twisting and turning inside the box. Ben Barkley! Oh, what a goal from Ben Barkley! Well, he twisted, he turned. We'll have a look at the replay. But that is really his first opportunity, and he's 1 from 1. That is a fine goal. Ben Barkley, take a bow, and here's Colin Manning to take you through the replay.
That was beautiful. And Jack Barkley was kind of asking for a foul over there in the corner, and now is pretty happy he didn't get it. So the throw-in comes in, and it's just totally off target over to Chappell. Chappell puts it right into Jack Barkley, who's going for the ball, gets taken down, is looking for the foul. Ben twists once, twists twice, waits and shot right into the lower corner. Absolutely beautiful goal by Ben Barkley. Excuse me.
And Ben Barkley's 4th goal in district play. And I know there are some family. We've got to keep the back door shut here. I always say you're at your most vulnerable when you've just scored a goal. I know this family, Ben's family, in different states. So let's have you tweeting in. How good was that? How proud are you of him? And Jack and, of course, Phil, the coach. We know you in there. So thank you for tuning in. And a great goal. His 4th goal in district play, as I say.
And you can always tweet in at us at BKTV Live, and we'll put it up on the screen. We'd love to hear from anybody out there who's watching the game. Little quick comments for us.
Claremore throwing.
So
that's a nice way to start off the game. Get a nice 1-0 lead. They can't really sit back and play too deep anymore, and we'll see if their tactics change a little bit with this first goal by the Comets.
Ball into the box, bounces dangerously, headed up into the air by the Zebras. Then Thomas Cunningham gets there. Here's Braden Hudgens back to goal, loops the ball out towards the right-hand side. Any will do for a moment for the Comets. Here's Wormel, punches, could have perhaps, a little bit nervy, could have perhaps caught that, but Ben Barkley looping the ball forward, and that's going to go up into the air again now, and there's another battle slip from Benelli, the freshman, under pressure from the number 7, Hoover.
That was nerve-wracking with that ball just pinging around there in the box. Somebody could get on a head or a foot on that and put that in. I'm happy the Comets finally got that cleared out. That was a little more nerve-wracking than I wanted to see.
Indeed. I said in the girls' game, we've got another game going on in Colorado tonight. The Tulsa Roughnecks are playing. They kicked off the same time as we did here. We'll keep you up to date with their score as well.
Ball over the top for Jack.
0-0 it is after just 12 minutes. So we've got 12 minutes, pretty much 11 minutes gone here. Comets leading by a goal to the Ben Barkley goal, twisting and turning. And I was going to say in the replay, Colin, there were 5 black shirts around him, just him. So
yeah, how they didn't get a touch on that, that's just incredible skill by Barkley.
Here is Andreas Gonzalez, the senior, one of the 3 captains, Ben Barkley and Austin Wormel being the other 2. He would dearly love to put the ring on his finger. Andreas Gonzalez.
Comets just got a little bunched up in midfield. There are 3 Comets standing right next to each other. They got to spread that out, and I think they've realized their mistake and then spread out and then promptly kicked it right out of bounds.
And that's another thing that we worked on in training this week as well, not getting in each other's way, getting the play to, spread itself out a bit. Parker Harrigill is going to get ready. He likes to play number 9. He can play out wide on the right. That came off the number 9 for the Zebras. Here's number 9 again in on Habib.
Nice ball by Habib to Barkley.
And there's a threaded ball to Jack Barkley. Across comes the defender and thought he would have got there. Jack Barkley almost handed that one on the plate. Here he is, trying to get a throw in. It's behind the post, and that's a great shot from our camera, and he's in the end it's just stabbed out by the number 3, Mr. Rufly.
Jack's face there was great. Just saying, okay.
Okay, we'll just
we'll just stand here, then you can kick it out, and we'll just everybody take a break. So we've got a first tweet of the night. Kathleen33, my lovely wife, says, "Woo, Comets."
Kathleen, thank you, and I'll say what I said again. Thank you for letting us borrow your husband for a couple of hours, because it really makes my job a lot easier to have him alongside. We have a lot of fun. And there's Jack Barkley, almost like the old 1-2, although it was Chris Ritchie's throw the other night. That was Thomas Cunningham, and they've won a corner, Colin.
We actually just got a text in I just did from some friends of ours saying, "Are you guys coming to the party tonight?" And my wife says, "Nope, he's calling the soccer game, and we'll be there after."
Well, something to look forward to, especially if the Comets win. Now, it's going to be a corner. We're just retrieving the ball down there, and it's going to be Ben Barkley down there. Out of shot at the moment. It's going to be an in-swing. There he is. There is Barkley, the goal scorer.
Comets getting organised.
Now, here is that's a great ball in there, and the keeper, Silversmith, gets there. Back to Barkley, though, and Barkley's offside. Well,
called him offside.
That's an interesting one to me. I have to say, I thought there was somebody stood on the goal line, but we might get a replay of that just to see. Not here to criticise officials in any stretch of the imagination, being one myself, But the referee's absolutely sure, and thumbs up from Coach Barkley. That's good officiating. And the linesman's got his flag up now because nobody's quite sure where it is. Well, it's got to be further in. It's got to be inside the red zone, I would say.
We did get confirmation that Coach Barkley is on his third hat.
Yes.
Important confirmation from the last game in which we were discussing.
Yes, he does listen to the commentary, so we have to be very careful what we say. No, he said to me, please can you tell your commentary team, with a wry smile on his face, as it always is with Phil. He said, I am actually on my third hat. This is not the only one I've ever had. This is good from Motor here. Up to the number 17, which is Henson. Two players run into each other there. Edmonds' first touch wasn't the best. Hudgens gets involved. Edmonds again. Estrada's trying to get involved as well. This is Garwick. And Claremore trying to move the ball here to this near side to Caceres. He's playing as a right wing back. He has to go back, though, to Rufly.
Really the Zebras haven't really pressured our goal except for one corner kick in and it kind of pinged around. But other than that, Warmel really hasn't been under much pressure.
Good tackle from Adam Habib.
Barkley was trying to get the quick throw, and they called it the other way.
Well, right in front of Coach Barkley, but it's gone the way of the Zebras. I have to really work hard saying Zebras because, of course, I would say Zebra.
Zebra, yeah. Well, see, my theory is they went around, they sold out of tiger nicknames, and so they said, okay, we'll just make a horse that looks like a tiger, and it'll be a zebra. That's
right. Zebras all in black kit tonight with their white numbers.
Yeah, typically they're red. It's at least in traditionally Claremore is red, so I was kind of shocked to see them in the black, but I wondered it's because we're in the white and red. So to make sure we're not too confused there.
There's Thomas Cunningham hanging on to Henson.
Henson hanging on to Cunningham. Lucky not to get a call there.
Yeah. Thomas Cunningham coming out with the ball. Now it goes loose to the number 15, Outlaw.
Ball in. And that's easily handled.
Yeah, it's not going to beat Mr. Highlighter from there, is it? He's not in his highlighter kit tonight, is he? He's in his sky blue. Estrada goes down.
Something tells me he doesn't mind that nickname.
He doesn't mind it at all. And he's good fun, is Austin. Always involved in the fun. Good crowd in tonight. A lot of people have come in and stayed in from the girls' game. Girls, if you're just joining us, the girls have been successful tonight, beating the Cashel Hall Commandos by 3-1.
Natalie Bennett says go Adam Habib, KP, and Natalie. So nice to see those tweets in. Again, keep those coming in at BKTV Live. Also, I noticed we were talking about keepers. I noticed that their keeper is wearing one of the little helmet hats like Petr Cech does.
Petr Cech, yeah.
Now, are they in? I know in the Premier League he has to get a sort of a special dispensation to that. Is that the same in high school, or can anybody wear that if they want?
I think anybody can wear them now. They've got to be approved, seen by the referee. But yeah, sensible to do it.
Yeah, it's a good way to protect, especially for goalkeepers. You've seen even Austin Warmel jumping in, diving in on a ball, and I think it makes sense for keepers to do that just to protect their heads. Now, Petr Cech did it because he cracked his skull open. You want to protect these kids as much as you can, especially from concussions at these young ages.
Well, in rugby, they call them skull caps.
Oh, there we go. Right, so we got a corner kick here.
Throw-in, I think.
Yeah. Oh, is it a throw-in?
Here's Tom Cunningham. This will be a long throw. We got Tom Cunningham and Chris Ritchie who can launch them in. That's a great one. There's Barkley with the header. It's going to fall to Ben Barkley. Is it? Well, they wanted a handball. No, says the referee. Barkley was completely on that one. He really thought that was a penalty. And that ball is going to go out. It's going to be a white ball, a Comet ball.
Quick throw.
Maybe we'll get a little replay on that just to see if there was a shout for a penalty. It wasn't given. Here's Habib central.
If anything, I would say that the ref probably saw it as, Thomas gave the ball away there. Probably would have said that was, ball to hand. The guy wasn't intentionally holding. A little miscommunication there by the Comets.
Good play from
He really gave the ball away.
Hudgens there. I call him the busy Braden Hudgens. He's so busy in that midfield. Habib goes around 3 or 4. He's still going. In the end, I think it wasn't a foul. I think he just ran into someone.
Held the ball. One too many moves.
That ball is won by Joe Edmonds. And the Comets survive, more than survive, to be honest.
Comets got some space here if they can get going forward.
Here is Barkley bringing in Graham Chappell.
Slowed it down.
Chappell in at left back, can play right back as well. Barkley threads it forward, looking for Estrada, who's come to this near side. Estrada goes round the defender, gets the ball, and then the defender, Rufly, wins it back.
I've seen 3 or 4 times now where Claremore just seems to have given up on a ball that because they thought they were going to easily take it and just really struggling. Kathleen Manning says Colin Manning and Dave Saunders know soccer with a couple of soccer balls right there. Way to go. Thanks, Kathleen.
Thank you.
Yeah, where it seems as if they've just really, even down on our end, where Austin was going for a ball and their striker seemed to let it go. Oh, Chris Ritchie in for the long throw now.
There you go. There he is. Good close up there into the box, headed away. And now it's Habib running into a little bit of trouble with Outlaw. Belted away anywhere by the Zebras, headed back by Cunningham. Chris Ritchie in for Graham Chappell. I think Graham Chappell might have just struggled with that leg injury. Maybe.
I was wondering if his knee was bothering him. Actually, Chris Ritchie and I had a good conversation today or yesterday about free throws, about whether or not he's actually bringing them up over his head. And he said he checks every time with the refs to make sure that he's doing it right. And apparently got a little bit of stick last week from the opposing team's fans who were not real happy, thought he was not throwing it in correctly. The ball's got to come straight over your head. And he goes, no, do it the same way every time. Make sure that it comes right over the top of my head. And he checks with the refs, and he's all good.
All good. And it was here he is with his feet this time. Ben Barkley scampering then, and you could hear the groans there from Barkley. He didn't keep it in. Be lovely to get a latest score from the Woodward Heritage Hall game. That's being played tonight. And, of course, the winners of that game play the winners of tonight's game. East Central are playing Edison.
Coming
tonight.
on is number 9, who is Parker Harrigill. Is that correct?
Yep, Parker Harrigill up top.
And Jack Barkley coming off.
It's a fairly normal swap that Coach Barkley likes to do, keep the number 9s refreshed. Jack Barkley had a really good chance early on. Keeper did pretty well. Here's Habib. Ritchie. The Muskogee man. Good play from Ben Barkley. But back goes Caceres. Ben Barkley round him, though, into the box. Feeds it across. Where's it going to fall? It comes off a defender. And the Zebras did that pretty well. But Ben Barkley showing his class again there, Colin.
Yeah, a nice little almost a dummy move that he was going to go for it one way, then just held up the defender and spun back the other. A beautiful turn he did.
Talking of beautiful turns, that was a good turn from Henson, who is a big, tall, 6'4" lad up front, and he was certainly talked about by the coaches here at Bishop Galley, and Tom Cunningham's got the responsibility.
Comets almost went straight into each other there.
Now, Ben Barkley, that's good defending from Caceres.
Yeah.
He's got a job on his hands. Ben Barkley sensibly coming out to this near side.
I'll say one thing the Comets don't do, which we were discussing, is they don't give up on any ball. Every ball is chased all the way to every touchline, side to side, end to end, which is really a sign of good coaching, I think, that you just chase that ball all the way and you play to the whistle every single time.
Good point you make. 17 and a half minutes to go in this first half. Comets leading by a Ben Barkley strike. And here's Thomas Cunningham. And you can see there's plenty of black and white shirts in the box. And Silversmith, the keeper, in the red. There's Cunningham's ball. There's a header from Andreas Gonzalez, which loops over the bar.
It's just so hard to get up and get on top of those balls. And that one just kind of went straight up rather than straight down, which is what he was looking for.
So Silversmith then with the goal kick in that fetching red striped kit and his green boots. Clears it. Good kick into the half, but a good head from Ritchie. Ben Barkley falling as he headed that back. Parker Harrigill, great ball here. Habib now inside the box, round the defender, round the second defender, feeds it inside. Who's there? It nearly went to Estrada, and now it's going to come to Braden Hudgins. Hudgins gets dispossessed somewhat by Motor, and now Claremore coming forward, but that's going to go through to Austin Wormel.
Oh man, I thought that was such a great chance at a goal and just Nobody quite got their foot on it when it came across from Habib. Just missing by inches.
Don't know if we've got access to replays in this game, but maybe we can have a look at that one in a moment. That's good play from Rue Fly. But it's good play as well from
the Comets not giving up on any ball.
Parker Harrigill's that kind of player,
Just
I can tell you.
hound everybody.
Now Braden Hudgens again tidying up. That's great play from the sophomore. Really good play from him. He does do a lot of the scrappy little work, the unsung hero work. Outlaw runs into Chris Ritchie. Both players thankfully get up. Throw in then to the Comets. There's Brett Cromwell, the assistant coach down there.
Is everything okay with Matt Smith? Did he get hurt? Is he just not dressing out tonight?
You can only name 22, and Matt is such a great guy to have around, and by his own admission, just likes to be around the boys. So not named in the 22 tonight.
Just happened to see that he was not dressed.
But you can change things up, of course, game to game. Here is Estrada. That's good play from Joe Edmonds. Now Estrada has got 2 to beat. Good ball in needed, and it was just cut out there. And that's a ball over the top, looking for Henson, who's pulled wide on the left. Hoover waits inside. Henson goes round Cunningham. Henson still in there, but Cunningham comes away with the ball in the end and will win a throw-in. But that just shows you the danger man, Henson, and he was talked about this week.
Yes, a lot of danger there, but good defensive play to be able to get in there, not commit a foul, not do something silly, just play the ball safely and cut it out. That was a good play by both sides. And what more can you ask for? Is 2 great players going up against each other and playing at the height of their ability.
Absolutely right. Now the Comets have got to retreat to their own 18-yard line. Free kick here for the Zebras. Comets leading by a goal to 0. And out comes Wormel. Double punch there up to Barkley. Cushions the head down for great friend Habib. Habib round 1. Back into Barkley. Barkley, great turn away from the defender. Threaded ball forward, nearly through to Estrada. Nearly a great ball there. Here's Barkley. Again, picking up the ball. Likes to be on the ball. Threading it forward again. That's another good ball, but across comes Roofline. And he's read that pretty well.
I had a great ball like that in my indoor game last night. I had a clean shot on goal, and of course, I hit it against the post. As always, just an inch away.
Never mind. There's always next week.
Yes. So Comets kind of just playing in and around on the touchline there, making sure everybody's back, playing safe defense. Always nice to see good defensive play. And the Comets play so well at the back that really Austin Wormel really rarely gets challenged, mostly because we just play so well at the back and just don't let anything through. That midfield becomes a grind as you get further and further back, and then that back 4 just eats everybody up.
It is a good point you make that, you've got a strong defence, but then even if you get past the defence, you've got to beat Austin Wormel, who I think, a lot of people who've seen him play will tell you that he is the best goalkeeper in the state, and by some distance. I'm sure other people will argue with me, and if you want to argue, at BKTV Live. But, I haven't seen anybody better than Austin Wormel, who, of course, is going to Creighton, to ply his trade there. So he's a great guy to have around, and he's only conceded 1 goal in district play.
Yeah, I'd like to say that I concur with you there, but I have not really seen him make a save in the last couple of games because he just hasn't been challenged. But he is great, and Creighton doesn't pick up any slack. Always good players going there.
Now here's Parker Harrigill scampering down the left-hand side. Across comes Rue Fly. And that came off Rue Fly. I think that's going to be a corner, I think. Referee giving a corner.
Ooh.
Ben Barkley wanted something
close in the box, man. That is surprising.
Yeah. I don't know if we've got access to a replay on that foul there.
I'm wondering, is that one of those that's a foul everywhere but on the field but in that box?
Yeah, here it is. Let's have a look at this then. So here's Parker Harrigill going through. Nice close-up shot here. Cross comes the defender. I think, to be honest, he played the ball just about there. I think referee gets that one right, Colin. You're going to disagree with me.
It's close. That's a close one. That's he does get in on the ball, but also takes the man with him, and I guess gets the ball first. That it was close, but I think I'm right with you that the ref made the right call.
Here's the corner from Barkley into the box. It was a free header, and in fact, it's going to go away on the far side, and it's going to be a throw in to the Zebras, who are playing from left to right on your screens. Comets all in white, playing from right to left. Jack Barkley had a chance early on at 0-0, but his brother Ben has broken the deadlock with a lovely twisting and turning shot on 8 minutes since then.
Oh, here he goes again.
Here he is again. Can he get a second one on the night? Here he is shooting. Keeper goes down. Silversmith onto the ball.
Nice strong work by the keeper. Down, got everybody behind the ball, caught it with his hands. I always appreciate good goalkeeper work.
Absolutely. Here's Chris Ritchie, who's done well since he's come on, to be fair. Ball goes back from Gonzalez to Wormel. They do play with 2 players high up the field, number 7, which is Hoover, and number 17, Henson, in their 3-5-2. Yeah. Here's Habib, though, running at the defence, easily round them. Fast. Could this be 2? Out comes the keeper. And the keeper does extremely well to dive on the ball.
Just a little heavy on that last touch as he went around the corner. But, man, he's got another gear that just kicks in when he sees that slightest of openings.
To be fair, that was a great run and a great piece of goalkeeping. Very brave as well, diving at the feet of Adam Habib. That's great play from Parker Harrigan. It gets pulled down. Outlaw is the man committed the foul, but that's great play from Harrigan, who really fights hard for the cause. Loves to be on the field, of course. Here's Hudgins. Centre circle up to Gonzalez. Gonzalez back to Hudgins. Those two play well together in the central midfield, up against 3 players tonight. Habib, beautiful piece of skill. Now, is he going to lay the ball? If he does, to Hudgins. Hudgins now, down goes the Hudgins, but that was a great tackle from Roofly.
Yeah, that was a clean tackle. Yeah. Man, Adam Habib's got to put that little spin on his highlight reel. That was beautiful.
It really was. Here's McHugh tidying up for the Zebras. Up to the number 13, Diaz.
To put that in American football terms, that's that play-action pass where the entire camera follows the pass that never happens. It was just gorgeous.
Now here's Henson, but in steps the freshman Brooks Benelli. And that is going to go out, and that is going to be a throw-in for Caceres, the number 5. There's Coach Barkley in his red hat.
Not his third one.
His third one, we say again. Thomas Cunningham, look at that, sticking like glue to Henson. Henson's had one sniff at goal. I'm sure Cunningham has noted that and doesn't want to do it again.
I'm always impressed by not only just our desire, but our fitness. The guys never seem worn out, but they're just always driving at the ball at every turn.
I can tell you we put them through a pretty good conditioning regime before they were able to kick many balls this season. It all started, seems an age ago now, but I remember, we all shook hands with them and said, congratulations, guys, you've done the hard work now, you've done the conditioning. Yeah. Now we'll get to play with the football, and they were all very relieved.
A little miscommunication there with I want to say that was Habib with the ball, passing it out wide, and the right wing just didn't go with the ball.
That was good play from Benson, Brooks Benelli, who let it go to Wormel. That's a brilliant takedown from Ben Barkley again, with 7 minutes to go in this first half. Here's Gonzalez.
I think if we end this half this way with 1-0, I think the Zebras would feel pretty comfortable with that. I think pretty happy with that. We've had a couple of shots where almost clean through on goal where could easily have been 2 or 3, and I think the Zebras would be happy to go in at 1-0, and the Comets would feel a slightly hard done that they haven't picked up another one here in the first half.
Chris Ritchie is going to throw this one in.
But maybe we'll get one right here.
Well, it would be nice. Roofly and Parker Harrigan pushing each other there. Out comes the keeper, punches. Where's it going to go? Habib with a shot. Here's Ritchie. And Chris Ritchie will kick between the yellow posts, but too high. Just need to loop a ball back in there, didn't he, really?
Uh-oh.
Habib's a bit of an injury there.
Looks like it's hit his foot. Looks like he's okay. Just sit down and stretch it out a little bit.
I think the number 17 there coming across and talking to the ref there, Henson. I'm not sure what that's all about. I think the ref's saying, okay, yeah.
I hear you.
I hear you, yeah. Maybe it's he doesn't like the fact that Thomas Cunningham's very close to him, and maybe he feels that Cunningham is, too close. But I think Thomas Cunningham's a very fair, physical player.
We do, on occasion, play a pretty physical style. We put our shoulders next to the guys, but we don't get called a lot of fouls and play the game hard, but play fair, which is nice to see.
Now, here is the aforementioned Cunningham getting two headers in there. Hoover goes in with Hudgins. That's a clipped ball over the top, looking for Garwick. But across goes Joe Edmonds and shields that one out, and that'll be a goal kick. And it's all a little bit quiet here, but the Comets are doing exactly what we want them to. They're in control of the game at 1-0. And here's Ben Barkley, the goal scorer. But it is Claremore again with Mota, who will shoot. But again, you have to do a lot better than that to beat Austin Wormel.
Especially from 20 yards out. That's going to be a tough one to score.
You can see that Claremore are a hard-working side, Colin. They rely on the big lad up front, as we knew. The Comets, though, are in control and playing all of the football.
Yeah, there really hasn't been that many challenges going the other way, but I've been impressed by them and their fight. But the Comets are just on the ball and moving it so well.
Here's Barkley now, slip from the defender, Rooflight. Barkley inside the area, shoots. Just over the top with Parker Harrigal waiting.
Just couldn't get his knee over the ball to keep it down.
Let's get a replay on that one and see exactly what happened. Parker Harrigal saying, why didn't you slip it to me? I would have had a tap in. Let's see the replay here. It was a slip by Roofly, the number 3 here. You'll see it come to Roofly. Here he is.
And he slips, mishit. Barkley goes around. Should have just chipped it across, but man, that's hard to think of in that instant when he sees the goal wide open in front of him.
I would not criticise Ben Barkley at all for having a shot there. He did exactly the right thing. Good run from Harrigal, though. It was good to see Parker Harrigal in the right position, making the runs. Now, Zebras coming forward again, trailing by a goal to 0. Hudgins getting involved in the right back position. He does cover every square inch of this turf, Braden Hudgins. Works extremely hard for the cause. Really improved to me as a player.
Love to put a mileage tracker on him.
Yes.
And Habib, for that matter.
Yeah, Habib just getting there before the defender. Yeah, absolutely right. There's Matt Smith feeding the ball, our wrestling champion. Very proud of him we are, the senior. Here is the aforementioned Hudgins. Wearing 18. Good square ball to Joe Edmonds, who's in acres of space on that far side. Feeds it into Harrigal. Harrigal back to good friend Hudgins. Ritchie will have to step in here. Hoover gets there ahead of him. And here's Henson.
Comets need to get numbers back here.
Henson with Cunningham.
Nice.
And then steps Ritchie to clear the danger. And we've got, 2.5 minutes to go.
Good play by Hudgins there just to hold him up. Didn't have to go straight into the ball. Oh, it's pronounced Roofly.
Thank you.
Roofly is pronounced Roofly by Roger Howell. Thank you.
At Bearded Gator. Roofly. What they do, thank you for that. What they do is they give us a roster, and then we're supposed to, without talking to anybody from Claremore, come up and say, thank you, it's Roofly.
I appreciate
not
that.
Roofly, as I've been saying. Apologies to him and his family. Now, we have an interesting one here. We have a Claremore free kick. I'm not quite sure what that was for. Maybe we'll get a replay.
It was a high kick. It looked
high kick, indirect, says the referee, with his right arm raised. If you're new to the game, the referee holding his right arm vertically in the air means it will be an indirect free kick, which means you can't have a shot directly on goal. It has to touch somebody else. And the responsibility looks to be going to Henson, certainly involved, the big number 17 there.
Kind of surprised he's not going to jump in behind the wall for a header. That's such an advantage for him. Comets are in on the wall, ready to charge in on the ball the moment it's touched. Do so, and the ball never really gets put out.
Henson tricking his way through there. Where's it going to fall here? Comes off the defender, hits Chris Ritchie, bobbles around, and Wormel will get on the end of that one. But that shows again the danger of Henson.
Yeah, that was a dangerous ball once it got in there. I thought the Comets were going to be able to clear it, and then just kept pinging around. And that's twice now that it's kind of bounced around in there, and everybody holds their breath for a second.
There's Diaz getting involved.
Now the Comets have a chance.
Yeah, here's Habib. Estrada's gone to this near side. There's Roofley. Thank you for that. Tweet at BKTV Live. We love to hear from you. Claremore fans, where are you? A few, what would you say, Colin? About 100 fans over there?
I would say so. Yeah, it's a pretty good crowd. Nice trip in from Claremore.
How far is Claremore? You're the geographical.
Claremore's about 40 minutes or so. My wife's boss actually works and lives in Claremore and drives in every day. So it's really not that bad of a drive.
Here's Hoover. Into the box. Where's it going to go?
The thing I'm always impressed about with Austin Wormel is his knowledge of when to come out, when to not, when to set back, and let the ball come to you. And that's something that's so hard for keepers to learn and understand.
It is. He's had an impressive half. Another clean sheet so far, but we're only halfway through half-time here. Comets 1, Zebras 0. Colin Manning, your overall impression of the first half, Comets from the Comets' perspective?
I think it's been a very impressive game for the Comets. We've had a couple of clean-through chances where the ball just was that final touch was just a touch too far, but very nice changes, some incredible footwork by Habib and Barkley. And then on the defensive end have been able to keep a clean sheet, but have had a couple of times where the ball's pinged around inside the box, but have been able to keep it out. I've been impressed on both ends by the Comets.
And not without opposition, Ty. I mean, we've been quite impressed by the Zebras, especially Mr. Henson up front, who we knew was going to be a thorn in the side.
Well, they've definitely come up with a game plan, which is they're going to try to get wide and put it into to Mr. Henson and have him have some work up in there. And then on the back end, with that 3 at the back, it's making us go wide and around all of the time. And we need to, if anything, what we need to make sure we do is get somebody that can make that central run. So that way when Habib on this side or Estrada on the other side can make that run around, we've got someone centrally we can pass into.
Just on the defensive side against Mr. Henson, Thomas Cunningham has stuck to him like glue and has been quite impressive with me. He's a very physical player, and I think even he's upset Henson a little bit that Henson's gone out of word with the referee, but that's probably what you want. Thomas Cunningham one up in that respect.
That's exactly what he wants to do. He wants to just kind of be a fly around him at all the times, and the physicality that he does is going to bother a guy like that who's not used to being messed with, not used to being contacted and bumped a little bit. And that's gonna bother him through the night. In fact, we've seen him already once talk to the ref, and I think he's getting in his head a little bit, which is nice to see.
Colin, thank you for your efforts in this first half. We're going to take a short break now, and then we'll come back. And if you've missed any highlights of the first half, well, you're lucky. We're about to run them. So we'll take a short break, and you are watching BKTV.live.
Hi, I'm Mary Chris Revard from the class of 2014, and I am excited to introduce the BK family to Gateway Mortgage Group. Gateway Mortgage is Oklahoma's largest independent mortgage company and employs over 1,000 people across the country. Everything Gateway does revolves around their core value of being passionate about strengthening families. When you need a mortgage company for the next place you will call home, consider Gateway Mortgage Group, where we close loans on time, every time.
Well, thank you again. Welcome back here to Bishop Kelly High School, and we're going to bring you a tweet here. It says it's at Amanda Stout, says at BK Live, let's go Zebras, watching from Kansas. Amanda, thank you so much for your tweet. We love bringing the commentary, and we're glad that it's of use to other people, not just the people here at Bishop Kelly. And Amanda maybe has watched the whole first half as I get my plane coming in. You can see on my feed there, in from the south into Tulsa International Airport. But Colin and I are going to take you through, in case you missed any of the highlights of the first half. And here they come. Colin?
So this is Ben Barkley on a nice through ball into Adam Habib, who puts it into Jack Barkley, who's wide open with the keeper. And the keeper just comes up big and strong, and that's impressive by that keeper.
Silversmith is the keeper in red. There's a throw up to the head of Chappell. Now here is Ben Barkley inside the box, twisting and turning. This was the goal. What about that for a finish? And you can take my point there. There were 5 black shirts around him, Colin. And then it was 1-0 to the Comets after 8 minutes, and here's Harrigan.
And then Harrigan comes down the side, down, and then the question is that a foul? And I think we both have agreed that number 3 got the ball there, but, man, it was close enough there.
Here's Habib, the dangerous Adam Habib. Look how quick he is, the TU commit. But again, that's brave goalkeeping from Silversmith with his skull cap on there. Really good keeping.
Yeah, no wonder he wears that helmet. He comes in at every chance bravely.
This is Outlaw, the number 15, and there's Parker Harrigan getting back, and this was in the end a foul, and that shows how hard the Comets are working. 1-0 up. Another opportunity coming up now from a long throw.
Yep, long throw is going to come in here and just a little off screen here, and waiting for that. There it is coming in and going up, and the ball bounces around, and the keeper comes out, and it's wide open. Then Richie puts the ball in, and what you didn't see there, he tried to chip it, and the chip goes up over the goal.
And then there was a free kick for the Zebras, and this is the dangerous Henson. Look, going round 3, and it did bobble around here, and in the end it falls nicely for Austin Wormel, no danger. But it just shows how dangerous, Henson is. We've said he's about 6'4". He wears a 17 shirt. They're certainly playing 2 up top, which the Comets haven't met too much this season, and he is a handful, Colin Manning.
He is a handful. He's big, he's strong, but I think our defense has been able to put a shoulder in on him, knock him off his game a little bit, and we're probably seeing also a defense that we're not particularly used to seeing, which is that 3 at the back. So we've got 3 at the back, which are going to force you to go wider, and then the 2 up front changes the way that you play a little bit, and so I think we've got the hang of it. I think the game is going in our direction, but I wouldn't say it's all been one way. But Comets have been pretty comfortably in control with a couple of minor bobbles around in the box, but all in all, have been pretty well in control.
Halfway there, the winners play at Heritage Hall or at Woodward. We'll try and get some kind of a score from them. Here's Colin with a tweet.
At Callie Ann says, all the way in Iowa to see the Comets, and our boy Brooks Benelli, go BK.
Fantastic.
So we've had Kansas, we've had Iowa. Love to see those coming in all over the country. Of course, I know Comet Nation lives all over, pretty much all 50 states and all around the world. And love to have you guys call in or tweet in at BK TV Live following the Comets.
And can I say again, I was talking to Brooks Callian, you'll know this, he's got a cousin who lives in Kansas City, and we had him tweet in the other night, and I was talking to Brooks today and saying how impressed we all are with him from everything he does at Bishop Kelly, both academically and of course on the soccer. He's only a freshman playing at the heart of the defence. The winners then tonight go on to play the winners of Heritage Hall and Woodward, and we can't wait for the second half to begin. I'm looking at the stadium clock. We've got about 4 minutes for Colin and I just to have a little break, get a drink, and we will bring you the second half. You're watching BKTV.live.
Ethan Brown, sophomore Austin Wormel, senior Brennan Whalen, sophomore Jack Sewell, freshman Joe Edmonds, senior Chris Ritchie, junior Jason Webb, senior Gavin Walker, senior Adam Habib, senior Sebastian Estrada, sophomore Parker Harrigill, sophomore Ben Barkley, senior captain Ethan Udrisky, sophomore Gavin Trisanella, senior Jack Barkley, sophomore Gabriel Kano, senior Brooks Benelli, freshman Drew Minden, sophomore Braden Hudgins, sophomore Thomas Cunningham, junior Ethan Hodgins, junior Austin Rogers, sophomore Andreas Gonzalez, senior Luke Balazentis, freshman Matt Smith, senior Conor Montross, sophomore Oscar Sanchez, sophomore Nick Barone, junior Vinny Frasillo, junior Graham Chappell, sophomore Adam Gwynn, freshman Jared Grief, junior Tyler Rupke, junior Carson King, freshman Zach Butler, junior Cole Leonard, sophomore Cooper Kenny, senior Brian Becerra, freshman Brooks Benson, freshman Cade Livesey, sophomore.
Right.
Well, welcome back, everybody, here at Angela Prasa Field. The refs coming out onto the field. You can see him coming over there. And we have another tweet coming in from @Kellyanne. Says, the cousin from Kansas City was my brother. I'm a cousin too. Go Brooks Benelli.
Yeah. Brooks, a thoroughly nice young man. We love having him here. And thank you for these tweets. And thank you, isn't it? Just shows the power of having BKTV. In this quarter-final here, the winners go into the semi-final of the state competition. And the current score, the Comets 1, Claremore Zebras 0. And Colin, I think 1-0 is about the right score, isn't it?
I think that's a fair score line for both sides. I think there's also there's a chance for the Comets to get a couple of more, but I think that is a pretty fair score line. And if anybody has a score from the Heritage Hall Woodward game, we've been trying to look it up on everybody's Twitter, but can't find it yet. So we're trying to track that down to see who we might play. I know the person who drives the bus to my right would be happy if we could find out that it was Heritage Hall, because we don't want to have to drive all the way down to Woodward.
I'm just looking at a text that I've got. Which
is he wanting us to announce about the cars on BKTV Live?
What Father O'Brien has said is that Bishop Kelly Girls Soccer will play Bishop McGuinness on Tuesday at 6 p.m. at Bishop Kelly. So we have the Battle of the Bishops here at 6 p.m., which is wonderful.
And as I was saying earlier, that's a tough back-to-back for the Comets just from an emotional standpoint. They've had to get up tonight to play our crosstown rivals and friends over there at Cascia, and then have to get back up again to try to play against our in-state big rivals, the McGuinness Irish. And those are always hard-fought games, as the boys well know from last year what those games can be like, playing against McGuinness and the challenges that can be. So I think our girls will be up to the challenge. Coach Tokarczyk will have them ready to go, and we'd love to have everybody here next week at 6 p.m. here?
6 p.m.
at Bishop Kelly at Prasa Field. And the Comets now have come back out onto the field and are just kind of getting little warm-ups and getting ready to head back out for the last time here at Comet Field for the season.
And we will say that, of course, the boys will be hopefully on their way to either Heritage Hall or Woodward if they can avoid the opposition scoring tonight. There's a picture of our crowd. We've got the student section a little bit to the left of that shot. There's some of the parents there who've stuck with this through thick and thin. Nice night, Colin, to be watching, isn't it?
Oh, it's a beautiful night. And we're starting the second half here with Jack Barkley on the bench, which is somewhat surprising, but maybe just getting a little extra rest. So somebody's coach was looking at his knee a little bit, so maybe they were just chatting. You never know.
So 40 minutes to go then, and you can see as we look down the 3-5-2 from our visitors, Claremore, as another plane comes in from the south.
I'd really like to see these Comets go out as winners here at this on their last home game. I know, especially for these seniors who put 4 years in, and see them go away as winners tonight.
Now the assistant referee there just, I think, adjusting the goal there. Austin Wormel's goal away to our left. You can see the Comets in white. They're going to be going from left to right on your screen, with the Zebras in black going from right to left. 1-0 the Comets lead, as you can see. And we are underway, and Andres Gonzalez pumps the ball down the right-hand side. But there is the Zebras to clear their lines with Ward, the number 12. And Joe Edmonds has won a throw-in on this near side. You just caught a little shot of Father O'Brien, our president there. And that's going to come back to Edmonds. Who's going to take another
do it
throw.
again from the exact same spot.
As you were, yes. You're not watching an action replay. Here's Edmonds up to Barkley. Barkley being held and wrestled to the ground. And that's going to be a free kick there.
He's got to be careful. He's not going to get a card on a move like that. That can get really dangerous and hurt people.
That was Ward, and I think we might see a little in-swinging shot from Andres Gonzalez. That would be where my money would be if I was a betting man. The Comets have got a few foils towards the far side of the box, but I think this is going to be a hit. Maybe a roll to Adam Habib, but Andres Gonzalez has got a fairly good shot at him. There's a wall of 4 there. Barkley comes over as well. Sorts this one out. They have practiced free kicks, so we'll see what they make of this one.
I don't know if they're going to get any cheekier than they did the penalty kick a couple weeks ago for senior night.
I think it's going to be Andres Gonzalez. The other 2 walk away. Here's Gonzalez. Can he hit this one? Silversmith waits. Here is Gonzalez, but he's got that all wrong, although Richie nearly got on the end of that. So it's going to be a goal kick. What do you think of that one, Colin?
I'm not sure if that was a shot or a pass at that point. It looked like Richie was going straight for it, almost as if he was trying to chip it in onto Richie's head. If so, that was a nice little bit and just kind of got away from him a little bit. But I feel like we could have done a little bit better with that. But all in all, I can't complain.
Nothing we can bring up to give you the latest score of the Heritage Hall versus Woodward goal. But here is Ben Barkley. A second goal here and now would be very welcome. Here is Adam Habib. Twists and turns. Gives it to Ben Barkley. That hit a defender and that will go for a corner. And Graham Chappell will come forward. Good pressure early on the second half, Colin.
Yeah, so it's all been comment on the Comets on the Zebras side of the field, and really put now 2 or 3 times some pressure in on goal. And again, we're going to have another corner kick, and it looks like, I'm trying to see who it is.
Adam Habib is going to take that one.
Adam Habib is going to take it.
In swinging left footer.
One of the challenges we have here, those of you who ever follow, we'll watch this out.
Yeah, it was a short corner. Didn't quite come off. Ben Barkley trying to get it back for the Comets.
Those of you who follow the Comets and know what we're trying to do as far as rebuilding our stadium, that the press booth for soccer games, we tend to lose the corners. So sometimes if you see us going, I'm not sure if that's a corner or who's taking it, it's because we just can't see down there sometimes.
But we have got excellent cameras.
Excellent. That's how we pick it up.
Yeah, that's just out there. Parker Harrigal not able to keep that one in. Going to be a throw in here for the number 2, Garrick. Thank you again for your company. An offside there here on Bishop Kelly TV. We've had wonderful tweets coming in from various parts of the country. We'd love some more. We're able to put them up on the screen as well as read them out. And we love it if you're supporting the Zebras tonight. This Father O'Brien with a good piece of skill. He is a basketball coach and former basketball player, so that was pretty good from him. Here's the throw-in from Ward. Headed infield to the dangerous Henson, but it's not even going to get to him because here's Chris Ritchie. It's interesting for me that Ritchie's gone into the middle.
He typically plays more out wide.
Yeah, I think it's more of a... Well, he is playing wide on the left. And Estrada's taken a little rest here, Sebastian Estrada.
Do you think part of that is some of his height against 17, that they're trying to get him on him a little bit?
Yeah, and it's interesting. It's interesting that Ben Barkley and Adam Habib are the 2 up top now. So Harrigal's out wide on the right, Ritchie wide on the left. Now here is Harrigal. He's been dispossessed here, although he's won it back again. Well done to him.
Good work by him.
And that looked like it was a foul. I think it has been given as a foul. He was just clipped there by the number 2 Garwick. Here's Braden Hudgens. Good close-up shot of the sophomore there. Back to the orange gloves and the sky blue kit. The Creighton commit is Austin Wormel.
I got to give it to Braden Hudgens. His feet are so fast. They're just constantly moving. He doesn't take big, long strides.
Right. He is, he's covers a lot of ground. Here's Joe Edmonds. Ball over the top, looking for Harrigill. Cut out by the number 12.
Ooh, that's going to be a foul.
And that's a foul by Habib on Ward.
Habib had at least one handful of shirt on that one.
And here is
Good call
Ward.
by the ref.
Yeah, Ward picking himself up, taking this one. You can see a couple of yards back from the yellow halfway line. There's Edmonds with a powerful header away. This will fall here to Diaz. Ball stabbed forward again. Boston Wormel comes out, and a few screams from the supporters on the far side, but nothing getting past Wormel at the moment. That looked like a hand. Here's Harrigill. Forward to Habib with purpose. Harrigill continues his run. Habib goes infield. Habib now lays it off to Gonzalez. Gonzalez to Harrigill. Harrigill tries to get the ball infield. It's been rather run out there, but he's won the throw in Parker Harrigill. 6 minutes gone in the second half. Still Comets leading by Ben Barkley's goal after 8 minutes.
Yeah, and Richie's coming all the way from the far side over here to do one of his patented long throws in. This is how we scored, opening the scoring last week, and hopefully we can get another one in here. You can see he's coming all the way from on the track. Long throw, and falls rather meekly to Silversmith.
Yeah, it came off the back of a zebra head there, didn't it? But Silversmith, nothing doing there. That's Thomas Cunningham winning that one. Richie does well, just getting the ball infield. Chappell infield here to Gonzalez. Gonzalez with a neat little ball over the top here to Habib. Habib now, what can he do with it? Lays off to Ben Barkley, chips it over the top. Out comes Silversmith, and Habib is just offside.
Yeah, just let his run go just a step earlier than he needed to. Just a beat quick.
9 minutes past 9 on a Friday night, and everything looking good.
But the 1-2 combination play there was really going well.
Very good. Those two understand each other so well. Of course, they'll be sorely missed next season, but they'd love to go away, having won state. And here's another lad that wants to win state, is Austin Wormel. They all want to win state, but those seniors, of course, it means such a lot to them. Their last chance in 4 years. Here's Gonzalez laying the ball off to Chappell. Chappell looking to get Richie going down the left-hand side.
But nice to see Chappell back. We were a little concerned that maybe he had a flare-up of that leg injury, but it's nice to see him back out there.
Well, yeah, he's been looked after, we say in England, wrapping him up in cotton wool, because, you know, he's come back from that injury. It took him a long time. He didn't come back till March. And, you know, then he was doing a little bit, and he said, yeah, I'm feeling okay, but you've got to be careful bringing them back from an injury. There's Thomas Cunningham punting it forward to Ben Barkley. Barkley again has got the return here now. Barkley in for two. Oh, he's tripped there. The referee's a long way away from that. I have to say, that did look like a trip. Anyway, here's Habib now. Can they make the Zebras pay? We might be able to get a replay on that alleged trip on Barkley there. Here's Habib. Wonderful play from Habib. Did that hit a hand? Is that a second shout for a penalty? Well, let's see if we can get the replay on the trip, Colin, and see whether Ben Barkley has a case for a penalty.
Barkley was just talking to the ref. Ball comes into Barkley, back to Habib, who puts it in through to him. It's 2-on-1. That is clearly a trip. There was no touch on that ball. I don't want to criticize the refs, but there was not a single touch on that ball. That was straight taking his feet out. But you're the ref.
The only thing I would say, I think it was a trip, but I think it was outside the box, ironically.
Oh, no, yeah, it was not a penalty. But it should have been at least a foul, I believe, there. But the ref was very far away, and, you know, don't want to criticize him for what was a tight play.
No, he's had a good game. Here's Gonzalez with the corner on the far post. It's Richie who heads it over. A few oohs from the crowd there for the Muskogee man as he heads just over.
Yeah, nice play altogether there. The Comets working what could have been a foul, then Habib getting the ball down and getting across for the corner, and then a nice corner in. So all around a nice warm couple minutes there for the Comets.
So 1-0 the score, still the game.
Zebras with a long pass shot in, but again, you're not going to get past Wormel on a 35-yard shot straight down the middle.
If you're the you know, the head coach or
Barkley,
the assistant coach, Jake Stout.
Oh,
that's a good ball. Here's Habib, round the keeper. Habib, he's offside, I think. He's offside. Yeah. Adam Habib offside again. I think we'll have a replay on that one. We'll come back to what I was going to ask you in a minute.
It's going to be tight.
Let's have a look at the replay here, Colin. Was that offside? Let's have a look. Here's the long punt down the field. Now keep your eyes on number 7 here, Adam Habib. Does he cross the line too early? Well, he's just out of shot. And from that, you probably say he probably was, although he is pretty quick. But there you go.
Man.
I was just going to say to you, if you're the head coach or the assistant coach is Jake Stout, what do you do now if you're the Zebras? Do you keep going on for another sort of 10 or 15, hoping you can get something? Or
I think you got to go. I think you got to stick with what you got now for the next couple of minutes. The Comets haven't put one in. You've been able to hold them off. And if you can get into the last 20 minutes, then maybe start throwing some more guys forward. What you've been doing so far has worked pretty well, although the Comets are beginning to knock on the door. The chances are coming fast and furious here now in the last 5 minutes or so.
But a second goal for the Comets would be the order of the day, wouldn't it?
I think that would be it.
Well, here's the dangerous Henson now. It's 2 against 2, or just for a moment. That's a great tackle from Brooks Benelli. We've had his
strength.
We've had his family tweeting in, and you can tweet in. That was a brilliant tackle from the young man.
Brave, strong, and that's impressive from a freshman.
Yeah.
That's impressive from a senior, much less a freshman.
Yeah, very good defending. Here is Ward, pumping the ball up in the air. That's easy for Cunningham, unchallenged.
Yeah, I got to say, it takes some guts for Coach Barkley to put a freshman back in that sort of quarterback position in central defense.
Well, he just came to the tryouts and he was talking, and we just loved him from the start, and he listens and he learns, and he's just above his years. He's a fantastic player. You think what he's going to be like in 3 years' time?
It's going to be great to have him back there, just rock solid for 3 years.
Here is Ben Barkley. That was a miss by the defender. Here's Habib now. Habib round the keeper. Oh, good save from the keeper. Then Habib chips it, and it's headed onto the bar, and it's going to be a corner. It's going to be a corner, but Habib with an outrageous piece of skill. Let's see if we get a replay on that just before the corner.
How did that not go in?
Here's a great piece of play from Ben Barkley.
Barkley threw, nice chip across, a miss by the defender. Habib around the defender, comes in, goes straight at the goalie. Again, another one in, bounces up, and I think they're saying that it hit the...
And there's a ball into the box, headed away.
They're saying that it hit the goal post, the field goal.
It hit the yellow post, yeah. Here's Hudgens. Good ball out to Barkley. He's in space here. Ben Barkley with the outside of his right foot into the box, and that will be an offside.
Well, I'll tell you, the Comets have had their chances here in the last couple of minutes. I'm somewhat shocked that we haven't been able to get at least one more in, but you feel... you feel sometimes in games that you can just feel that other goal coming, and you're beginning to get that sense in this game that other goal is just around the corner.
Yep, you just feel it might be coming, but it's got to come, hasn't it?
It does. Yeah.
Here's the hard-working Cunningham now. Henson, the dangerous Henson in behind the defence here. Comes off Benelli. Nothing Wormel could do, and that's away for a corner.
That's one of those that scare you, that the ball just gets clipped off of Wormel, and there's nothing he can do. It gets clipped off of somebody else and dead foots him like that there. Of course, the closest, riskiest one we've seen him in the last couple of games is the one where he fell down last week or earlier this week.
Yeah.
Just slipped.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a dangerous one, and this is where I would put 17 is just going to sit there and run in to try to get that header in, because he's a good half a head taller than just about everybody on the field. You can see him actually calling for the ball.
Here's the ball in. That's a good header away by Edmonds. Here's Habib.
Ended up near post. I'm sure that is not where they wanted that ball to go.
Right. Here's Ben Barkley. Good ball into Gonzalez, who goes back to Ritchie. Ritchie into Hudgens. Hudgens forward, just gets dispossessed in the midfield there. And the Zebras coming up to the Comets now, still 1-0.
When you got a player as tall and good as Henson.
A little bit of pushing and shoving on the far side there.
Come on, Ritchie, back off.
And the referee just coming in and bringing those two together. Sensible refereeing. There it is. Good shot from our camera. Yeah. Just saying, guys, calm it down. We're in a quarter-final. We know we want to be in a battle, but let's just calm things down. So, throw into the Zebras. Missed by the defender. There's Brooks Benelli again tidying up. Hudgens going in. I thought
Barkley
he caught Barkley, or somebody caught Barkley. It might have been Hudgens there. Anyway, we'll do from Harrigill at the moment. Now, Barkley on the scamper. Will he get this ball down? He will. Habib is out wide on the right. Barkley feeds in Parker Harrigill. Here's to Gonzalez. Gonzalez back to Harrigill.
Oof,
Harrigill was clipped, was he? No, says the referee, or advantage play. Chappell. Hudgins. Motor steps in for the Zebras. Now Henson running down the right-hand side. And who's with him? Thomas Cunningham. But Henson goes round him. Pulled back there, but there's Hudgins who covers so much ground. Well done to Braden Hudgins.
That momentum has started to swing a little bit.
Yeah, the Zebras really coming at this.
Last minute or two.
Yeah, Henson went round Cunningham there, didn't he? Here's Hudgins again. Now, Zebras with Diaz. Diaz will hit a shot, and Diaz has scored.
Oh.
And Claremore are back on level terms.
Wow.
And I'd like to see that one again. I think it was Diaz who had the shot.
And it just bounced wrong off a warm out.
And drama here, because with 24 minutes to go, it's now the Comets one, the Zebras one. And Colin, here's the replay.
The ball comes in, and the Comets just unable to clear their lines. As I said, that momentum had started to shift. I thought the Comets had it. Here comes Diaz with the shot, and the shot goes in, and it just deflects off Austin wrong. I don't know what he saw or how that hit him. It just did not hit him right. He didn't get his hands on it.
Well, it was a good strike from Diaz. It was a long way out, and the Zebras are back in this 1-1, and now we really have a game on our hands. We were just saying how impressed we were with the Comets coming out second half. Now they've unusually conceded a goal. That's only the second goal conceded in any of the district games. Here is Harrigill. Estrada's getting ready to come back into the fray. Here's Habib now, who really needs the likes of Habib and Barkley to stand up here. I mean, they never seem to let the Comets down, and more than ever now they'll need them to really play their football. Here's Joe Edmonds saying, I'll do it from the back. Cleared away by the Zebras. That was a foul, so chance for the Comets to get players into the box, Colin, and here we are.
Hopefully all those missed chances earlier in the game, the couple in the first and couple now in the second, don't come back to bite the Comets. Brent Jones says, I'm with Callyanne in Iowa. What you gents didn't know is I beat Brooks in FIFA during the Benelli Thanksgiving 2015.
Thank you. That's good. Okay, here's Andres Gonzalez. I will make sure I tell him for you. Here's Gonzalez towards the box. Out comes Silversmith under pressure from Chris Ritchie. And now this is a position the Comets have not found themselves in, Colin.
Not for a long time, where we've been tied up or even really somebody putting us under pressure. And we were talking about, did they need to switch their tactics? And I said, hey, I think that the Zebras were doing fine. Need to wait till the 20 minutes, and it looks like I was shockingly proved out correct.
No, here's Hudgins again. He's had a great game for me, but that's just overhit. And that's good defending from the number 12 Ward. Yeah. Well,
I hope that the Comets can kind of calm it down, get out of their heads. Roger Howell says, nice goal, Noah Diaz. Go Zebras.
Yeah, thank you again, at Bearded Gator. Roger, thank you. Keep them coming. Game on a knife edge now.
You can feel the tension in the stadium.
Yeah,
everybody
really is.
Tightened up a little bit.
Everybody has tightened up, as you say. Here's Benelli. No, he's kept that in. Or has he? No, he hasn't kept that in. So throw into the Zebras. Now another goal for the Zebras here really would put the cat amongst the pigeons, as I would say. Just less than 22 minutes to go now. And it's going to be a throw-in on this near side from the number 9. That's Mota. Here it is, into the box. Flicked on by Edmonds. Ball bobbling around. Henson's in there, but Comets somehow survive. Ritchie heads it up into the air. Barkley battles in the midfield. Oh, and he's brought down, and that might be... Well, the referee says no. Well, that was
shocking.
That was a strange one. Now, Barkley's got to be careful here. Keep his head here. He doesn't want to be tackled now. Certainly, Claremore certainly know who the danger man is, and some tackles are flying in on Barkley, but he's gone through 3 or 4 tackles there.
How has he kept his feet?
Yeah, brilliant from Barkley.
Oh, my gosh. How did he would have taken down 10 times in that process.
But he's a marked man, and, Barkley's just saying, Coach Barkley, that is, just saying, calm down, it's okay, 1-1, no bother here at the moment. 20 minutes just over to go in this quarter-final match. The winners will play the winners of Heritage Hall and Woodward. Here's the dangerous Habib. Round 2, Adam Habib. Will he get a goal here? Adam Habib inside the box. Adam Habib! Oh, that is a tremendous goal, and he wheels away in celebration.
What a tremendous goal.
Adam Habib, we're going to watch the replay. He went round 3 or 4. Adam Habib scores the goal, and at last the Comets can settle down a little bit. Adam Habib now has double figures in district play, and here's Colin Manning to take you through the replay. We'll bring you that replay as soon as we can. He celebrates here with Cooper Kenny. We'll see if we can get that replay for you, but the upshot of it is, with 20 minutes just over to go, with the clock stopped on 20:30, Claremore have to come from behind again, having got back to 1-1. Adam Habib makes it 2-1, and we'll see if we can bring you that replay as soon as we can, but we kick off again.
Well, like I said, that is the tonic, exactly what the Comets needed. It was a nice goal, nice response. Put us back in and get us back to the lead. Hopefully we can put one more in. I think one more might put this to bed, but we're still on a knife's edge here at 2-1.
You just don't know with this game, do you?
But you don't think you're going to get a Wormel mistake like you made in the last one. You're not going to get that twice in a game.
I don't think you're going to get. I don't think you're going to get another Wormel mistake tonight. Adam Habib, and now Adam Habib's got to be a little bit careful. That was a pull back just now, and the referee's saying I'm watching, and that was a little foot up there, and he's apologising. That's good to see the handshake there between him and Garwick. Garwick's stayed down. Now he's up. 2-1. Adam Habib, like I said, into double figures for district play. That's good sporting applause.
Very much.
From for the Claremore player. Now the Garwick has got to leave the field here, I think. Clock stopped then on 19:49
is that the rule? If you go down like that, then you've got to come off at least for
No,
a
I
brief
think
period,
he probably just asked, or the coach said, well, let's take a look at you. No, you don't have to go off.
Well, just for our friends around the country that may not be watching as much high school soccer, so what happens if we do end up in a tie? Is there an overtime period? Do we go straight to penalty kicks? How is especially?
There is an overtime period, and then we would go to penalty kicks.
Okay, and how long is the overtime?
I believe it to be 10 minutes each way.
Okay.
Carol.
No golden goal. It's just a straight 20 minutes.
Just a straight 20 minutes. Carol Valdivia has come on, the number 22. He did start this game.
Free kick for Bishop Kelly.
So free kick then for Bishop Kelly, as Kevin McMillan, our stadium announcer, says. Keep the tweets coming in.
At BKTV Live. Well, thank you for that update. Is that different during district play than it is during the tournament? Is district play, do they go straight to penalties?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. You put me on the spot now. I'm trying to think whether I am right in saying that. I'm pretty sure there is some overtime. We don't go straight to penalties. Anyway,
I think that's a little more fair. Hopefully we won't have to deal with that tonight.
With just putting our Comets hat on for a minute. Here's Estrada, round 1, round 2, slips it back to Barkley. Barkley now cleared away by the Zebras. Here's Joe Edmonds. His scuffed clearance gets up to Estrada, who's come to a bit of life here in this second half. Edmonds takes over again, wearing 3 into Hudgens, who lays it off for Gonzalez. Gonzalez with a loose ball forward. That'll go all the way through to Silversmith, who could not have stopped that Adam Habib goal.
No. You know who we haven't seen this entire second half is Ben Barkley, or Jack Barkley.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's an injury, or if it's just the way the system is working and it's working well, and leave him on the side for a while.
I think it's more of a tactical thing. I do think that is correct. Here is the ball forward to Henson. Up with Chappell for company, and Gonzalez. Henson goes down under pressure from Gonzalez. Free kick then to the Zebras. They can get a few more men forward now. Again, Colin asked you the question with 17 minutes and 44 seconds to go. You know, if you're the coach, do you have to risk any more? Or do you keep playing as you are?
I think maybe, having been right shockingly the last time, I think maybe we sit back a little bit. If you're a Zebra, and especially this kind of a ball, really try to get into Henson, get into some of those taller players that you've got, and I think you're going to see him make a looping run. through. But there's a long ball in. But if you can get this just right in the right spot, this is a dangerous ball.
And
that's exactly what they tried to do.
Yeah, Henson was underneath it, didn't get any connection on it. So Austin Wormel will take a goal kick here. Goal kick for the Comets, who lead by 2-1. Adam Habib with the second. Ben Barkley started it all off after just 8 minutes, but the Zebras with a Diaz pile driver from 25 yards out beat Austin Wormel, brought it back to 1-1, and then Habib just a few minutes ago round 4 defenders. The exciting Adam Habib, the TU commit, is the difference between the two sides. 2-1.
That was a heavy first touch there.
Yeah, Hoover just running out of pitch there. Here's Estrada, just overran that one, gets up again, the sophomore. Good play there.
Fighting for every ball, isn't he?
Yeah, good play though, you have to say, from McHugh, the number 19. Here he is with the throw. Urgency now for the Zebras. Here's Diaz, the goal scorer, giving it away to Joe Edmonds.
Yeah, we're getting into the time where I think you may see the Zebras move to more of a 4 at the back, and start moving some of those wing backs back and putting some more offensive firepower on the field. It's going to get harder and harder to get through this Comet defense, who will start tracking back a little more. Though there's a nice run here.
Yeah, but here's Ben Barkley. Oh, it's a
beautiful
wonderful threaded ball, and in goes Thomas Cunningham, who's just overrun it.
Just overrun, just a touch too heavy on that first touch.
Thomas Cunningham, a defender, doesn't often get in that position. He's got to run a long way back now. Here's Andreas Gonzalez. Here's Cunningham. Yeah, Cunningham in there, and he wins that one in the midfield. Claremore fans wanted a foul there. Here's Estrada. Claremore very impressively, like Bishop Kelly, won their district with 7-0 in district.
Nice ball by
Habib, bringing the stadium to life. Here's Ben Barkley. Andreas Gonzalez, threaded ball through. Now they've got to be careful of the Comets. And here's Brooks Benelli. Just given that one, but he gets the second bite of the cherry. Well done to him. Atoned for his own mistake. Here's Estrada. And that came off Estrada. That'll be a Zebra's ball, or it should be. Yeah, just look at their impressive. I know district players a long time ago now, but they beat Memorial 10-0.
10-0, 2 10-0s in a row.
I'm just wondering if I've got the right. I thought I had the girls.
I was like, that's a lot of 10-0s.
So my mistake there. We'll bring up
10-0s tend to happen a little more in the ladies than it does in the boys.
Yes, but. Anyway, that district players all gone now. There's Claremore. They finished second, 6-1. Their only defeat, I think, was to East Central, if I'm not mistaken. They did beat Cashel Hall 10-0. East Central, they did lose 3-2 to East Central, but that was their only defeat. And then they beat Memorial 3-2 to earn their place here at Bishop Kelly. They trail by 2-1 to the Comets. And we've got now just under 14 minutes to go. Here's Gonzalez.
Comets would desperately love to get one more here to just really put this to bed.
Here's Habib. Barkley onto his right foot. Hits one. Comes off the back of the defender.
Yeah.
Corner ball.
He's gonna have Adidas on his forehead.
Yeah.
He got a sharp one right to the head there.
Close game though. Comets 2, Zebras 1.
Yeah, we just need to see out this last 13 minutes as the Comets. But it's on enough of an edge that you need to get it done.
So you just look at the 3v2 at the back there. Thomas Cunningham with Henson. Hoover's there with Joe Edmonds. And then you've got Brooks Benelli sweeping up. It's going to be a Comets corner. Here it is from Gonzalez to the back of the box. It's going to fall here to the Zebras, who clear their lines. And that's going to be out for a Comets throw just down below us. Ben Sands
no Comets on the sideline trying to help that ball not roll all the way to the fence and tick off a couple of seconds here at the end.
Is Joe Edmonds.
That would be very different if we were down 2-1.
Referee just saying, I want to keep this moving.
Speed it up.
Be fair to both sides.
He saw what happened.
Here is Gonzalez. He's refereed it very well for me. Gonzalez trying to thread it through for Ben Barkley.
Couple of controversial calls, but for the most part, allowed the kids to play, which is what I like to see, rather than making the story about the referee. But there have been a couple of A couple of ones that maybe were a bit controversial, but all told, a great job.
Here's Habib again. Can he do it all again, Adam Habib?
Oh.
He runs into Braden Hudgens, who, to be fair, was trying to get out of the way, I think. Here's Estrada.
Well, I don't blame him. It's hard to know where Habib's going to end up with his ability on the ball.
Ben Barkley, good pull back. Where's it going to fall? Scuffed clearance from the defender. Chappell with a shot. Ends up in the hands of Silver Smith. And it remains 2-1 to the Comets. And we're playing 12 minutes of this game. Here's Benson after the bounce. Gonzalez just cushions it down for Edmonds. Edmonds under a little bit of pressure from Hoover. Here's Estrada, round 2. And that's a great switch here. Estrada with Ben Barkley there. But back goes McHugh. And then both go to ground. And the assistant referee says that will be a throw into the Comets.
And here comes Richie all the way across yet again for another big, long throw in. Now the question is, how many do you really want to commit in? Roger Howell says district play and playoffs go 2 10 minutes, golden goal, overtimes, then penalty kicks. Thank you for the rules update. That's what we were trying to figure out.
Thank you.
We had everything down there but the golden goal. That was the question. Golden goal being if you score 1 goal, then that's the end of the game.
Here's the ball into the box. Out comes Silversmith. Catches very well the man in red and will pump the ball down the field, no doubt looking for Henson, who's here and brings it down extremely well. I've been impressed with Henson tonight. Here's Joe Edmonds. That's going to fall to Estrada, who's got to go back and defend and pumps the ball away. And that will finish up near the student section here at Bishop Kelly. So throw into the Zebras. There is the student section. You can see Michael Solomon in there.
Enrique Diacis, Mr. Kelly, Enrique Diacis.
Yeah. Sean Flayhive at the back there. One of our... is he wrestling, Sean, and football?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. No doubt he'll tell me now on Monday morning. 2-1 then, and we're playing the last 10 or so minutes as Gonzalez goes forward. Habib now trying to get round Outlaw. McHugh, excuse me, and then pulls McHugh.
Claremore free kick.
So a Claremore free kick. And this will be from Ward, who will pump this forward. They're right on the 18-yard line now. And there it is. That's a good pump forward by Ward, but there's Benelli to volley the ball away from inside his own box. Here's Estrada under pressure from Valdivia. And Estrada's pushed Valdivia down.
Zebra free kick.
That's a fair call.
Referee's come across, and he'll no doubt have a discussion with Coach Barkley. But there it is. The referee's explaining his decision, and it is going to be.
And this is a dangerous spot. If you got somebody who can really put it in on a nice curl here, this can be a tough one.
Yeah, it's Mota wearing the number 9. Time ticking away, but that's a good ball into the box. Away by Benelli. Hits the back of a defender, and the Zebras have a chance here, but there's a good clearance in the end.
Needed that clearance.
Wow. Hands on heads time from some of the trainers there.
Oh, and that's going to be a yellow card.
And Habib will get a yellow card for persistent fouling, I think that will be.
Well, he also put a shoulder, he put a forearm into the back of number 12.
So Jack Barkley will come into the fray. Referee will write down the number 7.
Give Habib a little break here, let him cool down. I think he's been frustrated with some of the pushing and shoving on his side, on headers especially, and then just sort of took his frustration out there on 12.
I think, incredibly, that is Adam Habib's first yellow card of the season. I can't remember him having another one. He's been fouled a lot because he's obviously a marked player, but that's his first yellow of the whole campaign. Sits down. No doubt he'll come back in a few minutes. And the Graham Chappell has rather missed that one, but that's good intelligent play from Benelli, leaving it for Austin Wormel.
And good job by Wormel to marshal his troops. I'm sure he was telling them exactly what he needed, what he wanted. Let that come through to me. I got it.
I just want to we'll just watch the play, and then I'll come to my comment in a minute and ask you for yours. Here's Ben Barkley for 3.
Oh,
just wide of the target.
Wide.
we thank you for the tweet that came in about the golden goal. I absolutely detest the golden rule.
Don't like the golden goal.
I do not think it's fair. Let me put my point to you. And I remember Germany winning the European Championship against Czechoslovakia in England. It was 1996. I remember it well because England went out on penalties, 6-5 to the Germans. But the golden goal rule, you go hammer and tongs, as I would say, at each other, like these two guys, teams out here, and then you have a goal conceded, you walk off the field, you've got no chance to come back. So you've done it for 80, 90 minutes. Why suddenly end it with a goal?
I understand the way that you think. I think that's a perfectly valid point. The thing I do like about the golden goal, especially having seen World Cups finish in penalty kicks over and over and over again, because everybody plays so defensively, and especially in that extra period, everybody just packs the box in. And I think the golden goal gives a little bit of incentive to drive forward and try to get goals rather than just park the bus, both teams, and try to see it out to penalty kicks, which we just keep seeing over and over and over again in UEFA Cup championships or in World Cups. But
Yeah.
I understand your point.
Well,
I think penalty kicks is a horrible way to end a soccer game because it's just it's so hard to stop, and it just seems like so much luck. What is the discussion?
Well, the referee's having a discussion with somebody on the Claremore bench, I think, and we've got a delay here. The stadium clock has been stopped. We've got it's got 75 on it now, so I think we've got a 7:50. There we go. 7:50 to go. And the referee's happy now. I think it was a stadium clock issue.
Now, that's something I would like to see American soccer implement, which is the continuously running clock and the clock being kept on the field. I find that builds so much excitement in those last minutes when you're not sure how long
Yes,
it's
I
going to
agree.
be.
I agree. And you just slow it down. Here's Barkley to Barkley. Now, Jack Barkley into the box here to finish it. Just wide of the target.
Just wide, just like his brother did. Both of them hit just wide on the same side and on almost the exact same shot.
Well, Jack Barkley could really have put this one to bed. Now, the Zebras are running out of time here. 7.5 minutes to go. And again, I ask you the question, if you're the coach, do you throw on another attacker?
I think it's time. The time now is there or past to put on another attacker, although the Comets are still opening up at the back. But you got to take the shot now because that time is ticking down rapidly. You've had a couple of chances. Ooh, that's high. That's going to be a foul on Richie.
Chris Ritchie. I don't think it was anything malicious. I think
I don't think it was. He was going for the ball. It was just a little high.
Yeah. So, Zebras have a chance here and a goal now for the Zebras. Now, I can feel the nervousness in the stadium, Colin. You can just feel it, can't you? Well, surely that's got to go back. But anyway.
Barkley complaining that he keeps putting it forward. He's probably gained about 7 yards by just flipping it forward over and over and over again.
No, Chappell's under this, heads it away. That could be Zebra's ball, I think. Yes, it is. Zebra's ball. So, Coach Barkley there with Cromwell. There's the referee who's kept control of things pretty well. It's not been an easy game at times to ref. Still packed stadium looking for the outcome of this one.
Comets here just want to clear it. They just want to get it out as fast as they can.
That's Mota, and that is Austin Wormel.
Austin's smart here. He's just going to calm down and wait for everybody to run off.
Less than 6 minutes to go
here. Give him
here.
all the time he can.
Heritage Hall.
And if anybody has Heritage Hall or Woodward scores, we'd love to get those at BK TV Live. We haven't heard anything yet, and so we don't know yet whether we're driving hours and hours and hours or hour an hour.
Or indeed the Zebras might be doing that, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Here's Ben Barkley to Jack Barkley. He's gone wide. He's got no one else with him. He's trying to win a corner here. He mustn't, and he's pulled back the defender there. Oof. And I think Jack Barkley's going to get a yellow card here, and he does.
That's 2 in 2 games, isn't it?
Yeah, Jack Barkley gets the yellow card for pulling back the defender, and the clock is stopped again. Well, again, the referee just blowing the whistle, declaring the clock stop. Jack Barkley will come off, and Parker Harrigal goes on.
It's one of the things, I mean, he's only a sophomore, but it's one of the things Jack Barkley really, he needs to get under control. He gets frustrated, and you can almost bait him into a yellow card every game. And that's now 2 in 2 games. I think he got one in the last game, and another one here tonight. he's got to keep that temper under control and that frustration. And I'm the same way when I play soccer. A guy cuts me a little bit, and I just want to go get that little bit of retribution, and he just seems to catch that almost every game.
Free kick then, with 5:12 to go here.
Hopefully a little bit of age and seasoning will smooth that out for him.
From the Comets' perspective, a third goal would really, you would have thought, put this to bed. From the Zebras' perspective, a goal now would make things very interesting. Here is Estrada. Doesn't come to him. That's good defending. Here's Gonzalez looping a ball up for Ben Barkley to go on the scamper. Cleared away, though, by the Zebras. Chris Ritchie can launch one in here, Colin.
Now, of course, yes, absolutely. And of course, you've taken both Habib and Barkley off. No, don't want to risk a second yellow card and having to miss another game. And hopefully we can see out these last 4 minutes.
There
Long ball in.
Harrigill on the scamper and the challenge. Here's talking of scampering. Braden Hudgens. Under pressure is Gonzalez. That'll find its way to Chris Ritchie. Neat little ball to Hudgens. Hudgens here to Barkley. Barkley here to Harrigill. Harrigill just being driven wide. Goes down. Was that a penalty? No, says the referee. Here is Hudgens. Hudgens now busy as always. Threading it forward to Ritchie. I was just going to say good possession, but Diaz comes away for it for the Zebras. Here's Henson. Henson there was fouled by Cunningham. Noticeable now that the Zebras are keeping 3 up front and the Comets having to keep 4 back. Under 4 minutes to go.
Not a bad foul there though. That slows the game down again. Lets the Comets get back and get set. If you're going to give a foul, that's not a bad one to give.
There's Graham Chappell heading the ball away. Flicked on somewhat by Estrada. Cross comes Tom Cunningham. Away by Estrada. Comets now just 3.5 minutes away. Chappell's back there and he has 2 for company. Where's the defenders? And that's offside. That will be an offside against...
Offside.
Well, the ball being thrown back there. McHugh, I think it was, the man offside. So, 3 minutes. It seems like an age, doesn't it, when you like
Wormel
this.
will let everybody clear out, take the time that he needs to take. No reason to rush this.
Austin Wormel then away to our left. You can see him in the sky blue gloves. Another chat with the referee and Coach Barkley. Nick Barone might come in to be a bugger in this game. Now that's another foul against the Comets, so it's going to be another driven ball forward now. Maybe a higher line from the Comets. Wouldn't go amiss here, but they've got to go back. Everybody Parker Harrigill back. 2.5 minutes now. And the Zebras with Motor forward. There's a header away by Joe Edmonds. Where's that going to fall? It's going to fall to Chris Ritchie. He's just going to belt that and try and belt it into Broken Arrow. Harrigill. That's a good header back from to the keeper, Silversmith. And now here is Ward. He's got to go route 1 now. Zebra is not lying down, but Edmonds comes away now. It's 3 on 4.
Put it in the corner.
Yep, Harrigill could really take some time out of the game here.
Slow it down. No need to cut inside.
Oh, he's going to go inside. He does cut inside. Parker Harrigill now. Where's it going to go? And it's cleared away by the Zebras.
Dive in the corner. No reason to go inside with that.
Hoover doesn't find Henson because in steps Cunningham. Drama here at Angela Prasser Field. With just under 2 minutes to go. Zebras have got to get it forward. They do. Underneath this is Graham Chappell, who keeps getting his head on these in the centre of the defence. Gonzalez with a bad touch. Zebras may have a chance here. A shot from Diaz is wide.
Oh. Did I call a goal kick on that?
Yeah, I think it was just wide.
I thought it took a clip off a defender.
And the Comets are so nearly there. Adam Habib wants to come back in. Of course, yellow carded in this game. Nick Barone waits, possibly a substitution near the end. Wormel is asked to just hurry up a little bit by the referee. Zebra's not lying down. Coach Barkley says, come on, I want to make the change. And Parker Harrigill's coming off and Nick Barone's going to come on.
1 minute remaining in the match.
1 minute remaining in the match, and the referee decides for this substitution that he's going to stop the clock. Parker Harrigill worked very, very hard for the cause there.
Game's been much tighter than the Comets hoped, but has been a great game.
Nick Barone then, we're in the last minute. Here's Barone heading it with that headgear he has on, the red headgear. Still the Zebras coming forward. Chappell to Ritchie. And there's Barone getting involved and getting hacked down there, Nick Barone.
Puts it out over the stadium.
And we are virtually there, 35 seconds. Is there drama in store here? There's going to be a free kick here for the Zebras. Everybody's got to go forward. I cannot understand. Oh, it's a throw in. I was going to say I couldn't understand why some people were sat back, and they really ought to be going forward now. Here's Nick Barone. Nick Barone, this is good from Barone.
This is it.
This should be it. 20 seconds to go. He should run to the corner now and perhaps get a foul. He's won a throw in, I think. No, it's going to be, well, just 7 seconds to go. And the Comets are in the semi-final of the state championship. They will go to play either Heritage Hall or Woodward. It's been a fantastic game. There are handshakes all over the pitch. Colin Manning, the Zebras have really put this very, very close. But in the end, the Comets just about come out on top. That is a great game of soccer.
Absolutely great game. I mean, the Zebras came out, played their game through the whole game. They were waiting for that counterattack, that one goal that to put us under pressure. They did. The Comets stood strong. Came back with that goal just a few minutes later to put us back ahead, and then everybody played just incredible defense there in that last 17 minutes, 20 minutes or so to force this into a tight game here at the end. But in the end, Comets come through 2-1, and both Lady Comets and the boys through to the semifinals.
What we can say is that the girls will be playing home here to Bishop McGuinness at 6 p.m. The boys will definitely be away, but we await the outcome of the score between Woodward, who were visiting Heritage Hall. The officials having their hands shaken by the AD here, Lance Parks. I want to pay credit before we talk about the Comets, Colin. I want to pay credit to the Zebras because I really think they came here, possibly, not possibly. They came with a game plan. Their confidence. They would have known how good the Comets were. But well done to them for making this a really good game of football that was really kept us guessing till the end.
This was the best team I've seen the Comets play all year. Now, they've played some great 6A teams, but even in 6A, this has been some of the best soccer I've seen played all season. Really stretched the Comets to the limit and had just a couple of chances fall at their feet and the ball bounces a little bit differently each way, and I think that's a ball through and a possible goal and a tie or a win for this Claremore team. Your heart goes out to those kids, especially the seniors on the other side of the field, that this maybe is their last game, and they came up just against a stalwart Comet team, but man, they played a great game. I was really proud of both teams.
Watching my @Zebra Athletics from across the state in Weatherford. Thank you, BKTV Live. Yeah, well, thank you very much for your company, and I just want to say as well to those seniors, on the Claremore team, it's such a sad end. We talked about golden goal. What about this? Those seniors have worked hard for 4 years. I'm sorry I couldn't tell you what your names because I didn't have the grades put on my roster, but there are some, and I'm guessing that the goalkeeper Silversmith there may have played his last high school game of football. You feel for those seniors, Colin. It all comes to an abrupt end.
Absolutely, it does come to an abrupt end. They come in and they had a great game and a really good chance to win here tonight, and so your heart goes out to them, and your heart is warmed, I guess, by the fact that our seniors, the Comets, get to move on, and they got one more chance to win at state. So we got the semifinals early next week, and then hopefully the finals the next weekend. So it's a tough game that we play. That sometimes there's winners and losers in the end.
We will just take a very quick break here, and then we'll come back and we'll quickly show you the second half or the highlights of the game. We'll take a quick break here. Don't go away, especially if you're a Zebras fan and you want to see the last bit of action we can show you. We'll take that in a minute. This is Dave Saunders and Colin Manning saying don't go away. Come back in a few seconds. You're watching BKTV.live.
Hi, I'm Mary Chris Revard from the class of 2014, and I am excited to introduce the BK family to Gateway Mortgage Group. Gateway Mortgage is Oklahoma's largest independent mortgage company and employs over 1,000 people across the country. Everything Gateway does revolves around their core value of being passionate about strengthening families. When you need a mortgage company for the next place you will call home, consider Gateway Mortgage Group, where we close loans on time every time.
Well, welcome back in here. Dave Saunders and Colin Manning with you. We're just going to take you through the highlights of the game before we put this one to bed. The Comets, the good news is they've narrowly come through against the Claremore Zebras by 2-1. They're into the semi-final. Opponents...
and we were just informed that the only highlight we don't have is the goal, the second goal by the Comets. But what a goal it was, just coming in around on that left side and putting it in. And Cheryl Sanders says, congratulations, Comets. Take state. Always nice to see Cheryl. Come visit us. Come have lunch. We miss you.
Yeah, we do, Cheryl. Come and have lunch with us. And as she said, her son Brett Cromwell, like me, an assistant coach. So we'd love to take state. We're in the semi-finals. Let's run the highlights of the game. It all started way back. It seems like an age ago now, where the deadlock was broken by Ben Barkley. We're going to bring you those highlights as soon as we can. Again, paying tribute to Claremore Zebras. But let's now talk about the Comets, Colin. In that they had to really dig deep tonight, and they found something in digging deep that they got away with this one a little bit and won 2-1.
I think that they really played well. They played great defense. The one goal was from a shot from distance that normally Austin Wormel would be able to pick up, and I don't know if it just took a funny bounce on him or hit his knee. He kind of looked up like what happened there. But really, no great in-close chances on them, and I was impressed very much with our defense. It's always easy to talk about Habib and Barkley and their amazing skill, but I felt our defense did a great job of just cutting the ball out and not really letting them get through and get good, clean, easy shots on goal, and that's a testament to them. And then at the same time, on the front end, Barkley's great spinning moves for the first goal, and then the second goal and all the work that went into that one. And we had a multitude of chances, and while this one was 2-1, it could have easily been 4-1, 5-1 if some chances had come through.
Here we go. Barkley threading the ball through. This was early on in the game. Here's Adam Habib threading it through here to Jack Barkley. Did everything right, drew the keeper, but Silversmith, that's a good save from him. He had a pretty good night.
Yeah, there's one that could have easily gone in. This is the first goal. Throw in by the Zebras, headed back to Jack Barkley, who is fouled here but doesn't get the call. But then Ben Barkley spins once, spins twice, kicks back across the keeper into the lower end. There's nothing Silversmith could do about that. Parker
Harrigal throwing the ball in there. And here he goes. Now, this was a penalty shout. Me and Colin think the referee just about got this right. I think the lad there did play the ball. Here's Harrigal again.
And the ball falls back to, I believe that's Habib, who drives in deep. Again, just one-on-one, and incredibly brave by their keeper to dive in and make a great stop. I was very impressed by their keeper tonight.
Yeah, Silversmith, good play from him. He's hugging everybody over there. And then the Zebras, they weren't without their attacks. Here's Harrigal coming back, though, all hands to the pump, and then the lad got called for a foul outlaw there. And here's another chance from the long throw.
Yeah, another long throw by Richie comes flying in here in just a second. I think it's Richie.
Yeah.
Long throw comes in, bounces around. Could have had a chance. Could have had another chance right there, but it goes over by Richie, puts it up over.
And then the Zebras made a little bit of a mess of a chance they had here, although the ball ended up in the area. That was Henson on a run, went round 3, bobbles around, and in the end, it just comes off a defender here, and Austin Wormels gratefully picks it up.
That was right at the end of the half. Here's Joe Edmonds with the throw. This is in the second half. And Ben Barkley gets drugged down, and a foul is called. So here's the free kick off of that one.
Everybody
score here is 1-0.
Everybody walks away, and then Andreas Gonzalez says, well, I'll have a go. And hits the shot.
I'm thinking that's a pass into Richie. I don't know. That's I don't know which. You would know. You've been working on those with him, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I don't know which that is.
Overhit it slightly.
Here's Barkley fighting his way through what should have been a foul call there and wasn't.
Just outside the box anyway, but there we go. Then there's the corner that came in. And here's Chris Ritchie just heading over. Couldn't quite get over the top of that one. Austin Wormel punting the ball up the field. Kind of route one. Here's Barkley.
Nice into Ritchie. Ritchie threads it through to Harrigal. Oh, no, to Adam Habib. who gets through, but he is offsides on that one.
Yeah, very close call, but here's Ben Barkley again, who was all over the place in a good way. Here's Habib.
Yep. And we did get the goal.
No, he hits the keeper and then hit it off the line. That was a brilliant clearance.
Nice defense there.
From the defence, yeah. And the Zebras would not lie down. And here they got the goal. I think this is the goal. Here's Diaz picking it up. In fact, he dispossesses
poor clearances.
Braden
and
Hudgens.
It. Yep. Yeah. And then a long shot. And it just bounces funny off of Wormel. I mean, that's just something that you don't see frequently from him.
A collector's item, as we say. And it was a real battle at this point. It was 1-1. Ben Barkley, talking of a battle, got brought down there. Thomas Cunningham went up from the back, got a bit of a nosebleed. Yeah, here he is, almost in. Just overran that one. Else he could have scored. He doesn't score many, Thomas Cunningham.
No. And then here we go up, and Edmonds and Chapel are going to have headaches tonight. I can't think of how many balls they headed away tonight. Another clearance off the line here as we're driving forward. Chased down by Habib, and this is where Habib gets his yellow card.
Yeah, and then Ben Barkley gets a little bit lucky there. Feeds in Jack Barkley, does he? Yes. No, Barkley has a go just wide of the target.
The score here is 2-1, and then the Barkley brothers will attempt to make it 3-1 over and over. Right after that is when Jack gets his yellow card, not his second yellow card, his yellow card. And that wrapped up the game. And we just sort of saw out that last 17 minutes or so. And the Comets come away with a 2-1 win.
And they go into the semi-finals like the girls. So good night for Bishop Kelly Soccer. Colin, thank you so much, not only for tonight, for all the games that you've commentated on with me. It's been fun. We can't bring you the semi-final or the final because that goes out to contract to Cox and Fox. But we want to thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all your tweets. Thank you very much to all the students who work behind the scenes on the cameras and everything, and especially to Cruz Sanchez, who runs the replays and the tweets and just about everything else. And, of course, big thanks to Michael Blazik, who is in charge of everything from our faculty. This is a wonderful school to work in. It's a wonderful production to bring you. We're all going to go home for a rest now, I think, and get ready for Tuesday. Colin, you've got a party to go to, and
she's waiting.
She's waiting. So thank you so much to you. Take care. God bless. And we will say to you for the final time, the final score for the last time is the Comets 2, the Claremore Zebras 1. Good night and God bless.
Been a fun season.